What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 31 of Director Spotlight. This is where we're going through the entire filmography of a director, and of course, Season 1, Steven Spielberg. We're up to his 31st movie. This is a little movie from 2017 called The Post. I am your host, Nate. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Alex.
Hey, what's up?
And Evan.
How's it going?
And again, movie came out in 2017. Now, before I get into the numbers and the fun facts and all that, you know what I'm going to ask? Alex, have you seen and or heard of this movie prior to this?
I heard of the movie. I never saw it.
Never saw it.
So
this is a first-time watch for you. Evan, I know it's not a first-time watch for you because I think we got through all your first-time watches already. Is this one that you've seen many times or one time, or what's your experience?
Many times. It was a day one. Like, this was definitely day one for me, and I went and saw it because when I go to my review, I'll explain it all.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a day one.
Very good. I saw this at the theater. I reviewed it on my old podcast. 2017 was the first year of the Netflix Movie Reviews podcast. So this was a movie we reviewed. My cousin gave one of the all-time funny reviews on that show. And I'll say it when we get to our reviews. I'll say what he said. But it's iconic, legendary in my circles. So, we'll talk about that. But before we do, let's get into some numbers here, some figures, see how this movie performed. It had a $50 million budget. Again, not a huge budget movie, but it did make $179.8 million. So while not a $300 million movie, profitable still, made money for 20th Century Fox at the time. Was a studio. This has an 88% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, 74% audience score. So both critics and audiences seem to enjoy it for the most part. Only got 2 Academy Award nominations, which is interesting, which I'll talk about when we get to the review. But 2 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, and the other one was for Actress for Meryl Streep, because this was during that run where anytime she was in a movie, she was nominated for Best Actress. Didn't matter. Yep. It did not win either one. It was 0 for 2. So let's get to some fun facts. I got 3 and 1 short, 3.1. All right. In October 2016, Amy Pascal won a bid for the rights to the screenplay The Post, written by Liz Hannah. In February of 2017, Steven Spielberg canceled The Kidnapping of Edgardo Mortara, which I'm going to stop here. I don't know what that is. That sounds like a good movie. I would rather he made The Kidnapping of Edgardo Mortara, but whatever. But he canceled it. It was with the Weinstein Company. So maybe this was getting to the Harvey days. The Me Too movement was right around this time. I very much remember. So, and there were some casting setbacks with that. So consequently, it opened his schedule for other potential films. The following month, it was announced that Spielberg was in negotiations to direct and produce the film, with Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks in talks for the roles of Katharine Graham and Ben Bradley, respectively. The Post is the first time that Spielberg, Streep, and Hanks all worked together on a film. And the last time. I don't think they did another movie together after this. Spielberg read the screenplay and decided to direct the film as soon as possible, saying, when I read the first draft of the script, this wasn't something that could wait 3 years or 2 years. This was a story I felt we needed to tell today. Spielberg worked on The Post while post-production work continued on the visual effects for Ready Player One, in a situation similar to him from concurrently producing in the early 90s when he made Jurassic Park and Schindler's List. If you remember, a lot of the second unit and visual effects stuff were still being done when he was working on Schindler's List. Same thing here. I actually already worked on Ready Player One. All the post-production was going, and then he directed this movie in between. As filming commenced, a number of New York Times figures who were associated with the Pentagon Papers case, among them James Greenfield, James Goodale, Alan Siegel, and Max Frankel, objected to the film's production due to the script's lack of emphasis on the Times' role in breaking the story. So this is, of course, all centered on Washington Post. These people are from the New York Times, and they say, hey, we contributed to this. And so they were protesting. Goodale specifically was the New York Times in-house counsel, later called the film a good movie, but bad history. So saying, hey, this ain't how it went down. Spielberg used real audio tapes of Richard Nixon in the White House. No voice actor was used for that role. Only a silhouette of an actor was used for Richard Nixon. So anyway, that's all I got.
and all the people on the tapes. So we never see actors, whoever the characters who he was talking to on tape. We never saw any actors portraying those people.
Correct. So yeah, real audio. No actors cast in the roles. So anyway, that's what I got for the post. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the review. You know what? I'll go first. I think I haven't gone first in the last couple. Okay, the post. This was my second time watching it. I watched it in the theater, like I said, reviewed it at the time, and then I watched it now for this. And I have very mixed opinions on this movie. On one hand, it's well made. Of course, obviously, Steven Spielberg. Yeah. Well, I mean, an amazing cast in this movie. It's not just Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk is in this movie, and that guy from The Americans, I don't know his name, he's on a TV show, The Americans. He's in a bunch of other things. Alison Brie, I forgot. She pops up in this movie. I think Tracy Letts is in this movie. Like, there is a who's who. Every role, you're like, I know that guy, I know that lady, I know that guy. So a very big cast. Well cast, well directed, well shot, John Williams score. He's in there making music. But on this rewatch, I think I liked it less than the first time I saw it. And it really reeks of like Oscar bait movie rather than really good movie that I ever want to watch again. And that's why I think it's interesting that it only got nominated for 2. It was not nominated for screenplay. It was not nominated for director. None of the other actors got nominated, even though they're all very good in the movie. And so I think it's funny that it got a Best Picture nom and yet like nothing else. It's pretty rare these days for you to just get that and like nothing else. But I feel like it was made, not necessarily... Yeah, I mean, Oscar baity. I wouldn't say he made it strictly for that, but it kind of reeked of that while I was watching it. It's kind of boring. I'm not into it. It also is like one of these movies where it's like, I don't know how to say this without sounding whatever, but I don't care. Almost like glorifying the press and how the press is so important. And I'm not saying it's not. I don't want anybody confused. I'm not saying it's not, but it just kind of reeks of this self-importance of look at these brave, incredible humans and I don't know. It comes off a little like that, and I didn't really like it as much this time. I didn't notice it as much the first time when I saw it at the theater. I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. And watching it now, I'm like, you know what? Now there's some time. There's some separation from when the movie was made to now. I mean, almost 10 years, right? Like 9 years later. I'm different. I'm a different guy than I was 9 years ago. And I didn't really love it. Again, I think it's well made, well shot. And we've said this before on other movies, all three of us, where it gets to a point that this guy's such a good filmmaker, you're expecting certain quality, right? It has that. I just am not super intrigued in the story. I'm also, I know, Evan, you're more like into history and things. I don't really care that much about the subject matter. And so it does make it kind of like, all right, cool, it's interesting. Again, feels to me like something that would make a good documentary or a good, 2 or 3 part Netflix special than a narrative film. In my opinion, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I don't think it's a bad movie. I just didn't love it that much watching it this go around. So I don't know. I don't even have much else to say beyond that. Let's go to Evan. What did you think of this movie? Because I know you're going to go a different way than me.
I am. So I think what the word as I would not call this Oscar bait in the sense of more of sentimental. I think when you were talking about like his love for I don't think he made this for the Oscars. He definitely made it for what was happening of the time. Because this movie was made in 9 months. Mm-hmm. And he really, when he said, hey, I don't want to make this in 3 years, this movie needs to be made. So by the time he got the script to the time this movie was released was 9 months. Yeah. Casting, everything. So that's pretty amazing about this guy who's able to get all these people signed up and say, done, production, edit, out the window, in theaters in 9 months. So in that sense, it definitely has this sentimental value he's going for. That he's going for this profession because definitely at the time, the politics, everything around the world was definitely attacking this profession. So you could see that he's doing it. It feels like kind of not as Schindler's List, but in the sense of like he goes, this is an important story to tell right now for this time period, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I totally get what you're saying. Like if this is not your cup of tea, this is my cup of tea. I love this film. Mm-hmm. So we joke about how many times I've seen Close Encounters, right? Yeah. And throughout this whole podcast. Well, the sequel to this movie, the unquote sequel, right, is All the President's Men, right? Because that's where we end with the Watergate.
Yeah.
I have watched that movie so many times. I am neurodivergent, so I do get attached to things. I watch All the President's Men twice a week for almost 2 years. I was in love with this movie, obsessed with this movie. So this movie just is wreaking
it's right up your alley.
Right? It is perfect. It's like Lincoln in that sense. This is for me. Showed it to my son, so we watched it. My wife enjoyed it, but you could tell that she wasn't. My son loved it. Oh. My son goes, holy cow, he had so many questions. We ended up talking about it. We ended up having all these conversations about what was right, what was wrong. And so I love that aspect. I think it does such a good job that it definitely is picking the side that this is important work, but it doesn't pick a side of what was it correct for that guy to steal the documents. Right. If you notice, it doesn't really say, does that guy get a free pass? But he goes, we have this information as the press. We must share this information. Right. So it doesn't really go on to the morality of, was it right for that guy to steal the documents? It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So I like that. The acting, we already talked about. You loved it. But I just love this movie. My one issue that I have is it doesn't ever feel real. In a sense of like you have all the sounds and you get it and you do it in the story, but it never feels not real, grounded. Like I feel like I'm never truly part of it, like in some of his other movies. Yeah. Like I'm thinking of like Jurassic Park or something, like some of these movies, while totally different, but you feel grounded. Even Minority Report, you kind of feel like I'm in this world. I'm always feel like I'm watching these people, if that makes sense. I'm always
in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. So you're never in that. So that's my biggest complaint about it. But I think it was just done in that 9 months. He probably, some of the fleshing out of some of the storylines he didn't take his time with it. Yeah. And so I think we see that in the end product. So I don't think it's a perfect film, but for me, I love this film. So it's interesting because I've been struggling how I'm going to rate it because like, I know there's some weaknesses, but I love it. Like, so I don't know how I'm going to rate it. So, but I do love the ranking because like I could maybe rate it for reals and then rank it where I want to. Yeah.
This could be like your hook where I have it ahead of other stuff that's ranked that I scored higher, but I love it more. So, you know, I totally see where you're coming from. All right. Well, Alex, the first time watch, the type of movie that I know you love about newspapers. Alex, what did you think of The Post?
I hate you guys.
That's. I mean, this is what is this week 5 or how many movies is this now?
This is a good chunk. I mean, it got me like 4 or 5 in a row that Alex is like not happy with me. I didn't make the list.
I'm gonna be look. I did not like this movie. I mean, look. At the end of the day, I can't fault Steven Spielberg. Especially, I mean, I have my taste of movies. You have your taste in movies. And again, I'm going through this as a champ. Like, I'm actually sitting down and watching these movies because, you know, that's what I like about the channel, right? Because we get to watch new stuff. So there's stuff I enjoyed that I never saw. There's stuff I don't. This block of movies has been very daunting for me. It's been very torture. I don't like this movie. It is very torture. I don't like this movie. This movie is super boring. Super boring. One thing I would agree with you guys is that this movie does put a spotlight on the newspaper, but it's a very one-sided thing. Yeah. Like it's not like a biased video, like movie where it's like it gives you it gives you from 2 point of views, and then you make your own decision.
Right.
This is strictly like newspapers are the best.
These guys are heroes. They're incredible and amazing.
Like, they uncovered all this stuff, and it's like, okay, but then what happens like with someone like Snowden, who took all that information from the Pentagon and released it? Like, is he a hero because he released everything?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The movie doesn't cover the actual person who stole the document, but more about the like WikiLeaks would be the more of the comparison. Was it okay for WikiLeaks to release what Snowden gave them?
And I agree with that.
This more movie of the question.
Say they pretty much make it like this is the right thing, and what they did was right. Whether the person who stole it, they don't talk about. Doesn't matter as much. Yeah. So again,
and
doesn't matter.
And you don't see it from the presidential office, like the ramifications of them stealing like we don't see none of that. You don't see the president going crazy. Like you don't see the Oval Office people going nuts, or the chief of staff, or whatever the hell, all the people that's in that office. Like you don't see it from there. You just see it from these guys going, "Whoa, we got the papers. Let's do this." And then all of a sudden, the Washington Post is friends with the I don't know, the Post people, and then all these other the Washington Times friends,
the Post,
and then they're all hanging out, and I'm like, okay, cool, but at the end of the day, is it a story that I really no? It's just a boring story. Like I didn't care for this stuff. Now I do enjoy espionage and them releasing stuff, and that's cool. But at the end, that was like a Miller thing in the movie. Like they took it, next thing you know, they're printing it out. Like, oh my God. And they have phone calls. And then all of a sudden we got Washington Times released it first. Yeah. And then, the president stopped that. And then all of a sudden the Post got it. And then I'll say Meryl Streep's character is the first woman in newspaper, I believe, at the time, right? She owned the newspaper company.
The first in the role she was in.
The
first in that position.
Not the first woman in newspaper, but her role of running the newspaper.
Okay. I'm sorry. So she's like the CEO of the company, like yeah. So I get it from that point of view. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's kind of cool. But then give me a little bit of that. But it was weird because then you put the conflict between newspapers and everyone is like, you can't do this. And again, phenomenal actors. I think they were all great. They were all good. It's just, I agree with Nate. This is a subject matter that I cannot see myself going, oh, I'm going to the theater to see myself, watch the newspaper come together. What I mean? Like, I get it from Evan's point of view. Yeah, You're a history guy. You love this stuff. But then I can see, like, I mean, people like, I'm not saying everyone's like me or whatever, but a general moviegoer is gonna go, hey, let's sit down and watch a movie about them releasing shit on newspapers, and the president's gonna stop it, and then they win because of the Constitution and all that, which is all cool. I like that stuff, but I left school. I'm cool with that. Like I already graduated and stuff, but no, at the end of the day, Steven Spielberg does a great job with this movie. One thing I would like about Steven, actually I should say I love about Steven Spielberg, he takes chances with subject matters that he enjoys and puts on screen, not the other way around. The studio's going, hey, here's a topic that we know that you could knock out the park. Like he's picking projects that makes him want to film. And I think, kudos to him. But I'm agree with Nate with this one. This one is just ass. Like this is not good for a moviegoer. But for Evan, this is a very good movie. So it's kind of a seesaw. Like I'm a seesaw. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel this movie.
I think we talked. I don't know if it was on the show or off air last time. Like a good comp for this is a movie like Spotlight, right? I know we talked about. I think it might have been off air.
Yeah, Spotlight. It's what I call the document. Movies where like Aaron Brockovich,
right?
Anytime where they're like researching Dark Waters, Spotlight, where they're like researching a social
So I think Spotlight is the superior movie to this movie. Like I find that one more engaging, but I think the subject of the research also matters, right? The Vietnam War is so old and happened so long ago that I'm so detached. I was not born. I was not there. And I'm not saying it's not relevant or it is, but it's less interesting to me. Like Spotlight is a very modern film, recent things. And I think it's a little more engaging for me.
I agree. I agree with you. See, that spotlight's the one with the priest, right?
Yeah,
In the Catholic
Church and Michael Keaton.
And you're absolutely right, because that is still going on to this day, and that is something that's like, oh, they're going to do something.
But
you get to see.
But what's in this movie is also happening today, because that's. I mean, if I don't want to get into it because but that literally the phrase "fake news" and all that stuff that was happening at that time was attacking this profession and talking about what can be published, who can publish, what rights of the president gets in deciding what gets to be released and not, what's the rights of a newspaper. Like literally certain presidents throughout the time, even after Nixon, were saying, hey, you can't be in my White House press because I don't like what you print about me. I mean, it goes back to John Adams. John Adams was actually passed the Alienation Acts that actually got struck down by saying, hey, press can't say anything bad about the president. Like, we've been having this conversation and still have that conversation. So I would say it does. I
agree with you. The only kickback that I will say is that the general public won't care for that stuff unless there's something significant and big. Like, let's just say hypothetical. Something like, let's say something like 9/11. They did something and they held back. People will care.
Everyone cares.
Yes, everyone cares about that. I think it's just a historical subject of the matter, whereas kids getting touched by priests. That shit is going on everywhere, and they're covering it up. People want to know about it.
Maybe because my son liked it, because I did pause the movie and I did have to explain. So this is where my weakness with the movie is, because I think sometimes Spielberg makes his movie and he forgets that some audience members might not know everything. But this was a big deal because this paper said that we've been in this war for about now 4 to 5 years beyond knowing that there's no possible way of winning. There's the only reason we're still doing it is because the presidents don't want to look bad. That's it. And that's it. And
Evan, I totally agree with you. But what Nate stated in his when he was giving his review is actually true. Half of us never lived through the Vietnam War for us to care about that subject matter, whether it was covered up for 5 years. Like, I'm not saying that what they did for us, amazing. Like, they sacrificed themselves for us. That is, again, more power to them. But what I'm saying is for the newer generations, they never got to see none of the stuff. Like all this, they just seeing videos and documentaries and movies. But for a subject matter like that to put in a theater,
right?
To get people to put their seat.
It's not that it's not an important story. It's that does it make a great film? For me, not really. Well, I don't care as much.
Right.
Well, I think that's where Spielberg loses it, where this is too much of what I call a paint by numbers film. Like, like you color those pictures, it looks perfect, it does something, but it doesn't have
there's no artistic
realism. It's that. He just paints it so he forgets to ground the movie in a sense to pull us in. That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't pull us in, and that's where the weakness of this film is he doesn't do that and doesn't pull it together so you understand why it's important. Because like you said, 9/11, the reason why some of the documents were able to get released and not hide as much because of the war in Iraq is because of what happened during this lawsuit. It's like there's certain things that were set up and was prevented to us because of what happened at this time. And so I think he didn't connect it to why it's important to us. Like, for instance, I have 3 movies that I'm showing my son at this moment. It's Good Luck, Good Night, that George Clooney directed, black and white movie.
Yep.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then All the President's Men after this. Mm-hmm. And so it's it's a trilogy in the sense of saying, what is the freedom of the press? What is our role to fight the government, to listen to the government? But I bring him along because there's stuff where if you don't know that and you just watch that movie, this movie doesn't bring you along. And that's where I'm saying where Lincoln's fault, again, doesn't bring a novice person, a person who might not, why is that connecting it to us in reality, if that makes sense.
I think the other main issue is it's politics, right? And so when you're getting into, there are people who I'm saying there are people who I don't care about political, I don't want to watch political movies. I don't want to see, while important, obviously, as is a world thing, right? Government is how countries are run, So I'm not diminishing it. I'm just saying, as if I'm looking at this purely from a film perspective, if I don't like politics or I'm tired of, let's just say I've never heard of this movie, right? It's 2026. I'm 30 years old. I hate politics. It's everywhere. All I see is politics. And I pop this in, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to watch this. I don't think it has that sort of timeless value. I don't think it has that across the board, value. Whereas just again, Spotlight, for example, and I'm only using that because it's a newspaper movie. I look at these like newspaper movies, Religion, while it's similar to politics, is like, it is more the Catholic Church, for example, way more broad than just American politics in the 70s or anything like that. So even though you can make parallels, one's a little more universal and one's a little more, I don't want to say specific, if that makes sense.
And I would argue too that if you look at All the President's Men, that movie holds up better.
It does.
And it tells you, and it brings you along, brings the suspense, and it's very focused on it. And they have those debates, and it's really well done. Yep. Where I feel this movie doesn't do it as well. Mm-hmm. While I love it, I understand its weaknesses.
All the President's Men is a better film. And Alex, I think you might like that better because it's more of a thriller in the same, it's in the same vein. Yeah. This is not really a thriller. This is like, to me, a documentary.
And it almost literally picks up right where it left off. Like the beginning of All the President's Men is the door at the end of the post is finding the door taped over is almost the beginning of All the President's Men. So you could literally watch it as a sequel.
I think that's what this movie was missing. I think it was a sense of, see, the problem is if the movie would have started off with them arguing, going that this is a fake, like whatever the whole plot was with the whole 5 years, they didn't go to war. If they were arguing that and put me into that room and I'm going, oh, damn. And then this guy goes to the computer and goes, holy shit. Yeah. He found the files and then he starts to put it on a whatever USB drive or whatever they had back then, or he's printing it out.
They were just making copies.
Yeah, they were making copies there. Like he printed it out and then he's leaving and you see him sweating. Now you're bringing the tension and I'm like, oh crap, how is he going to get it out?
You didn't get that? Because that was the conversation in the plane, right? He went out there, did the report. He's writing the report. Then for whatever, secretary of whatever on the plane goes, do you think we could win? Nope. You can't. He has that debate on the plane, but then he gets off the plane. The guy goes, oh, we're great. He just lies straight to the press right there. And that's when you see him walk behind going, why are you just lying?
I think
that's what triggers.
Like, the movie doesn't have a lot of tension. It's not a suspenseful film. Like I was never watching this and like, I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, oh my gosh.
I get
that
it.
Kind of thing. It doesn't have that feeling. It's just more like, here's the information. They're presenting
it. Yeah. Like, and then if you...
Like, think of like the president walking in and they give him the information. And he's like, well, he goes, make something up. Like, whatever, and keep this war going. Whatever the hell it is.
There's no like real threat that you feel as a viewer. Like, oh no, I hope this doesn't happen.
Remember the scene, Evan, in Is It Clear Present Danger with Harrison Ford? When he finds out he's in the guy's room and he's clicking it away and the guy's walking and he's trying to print and the printer didn't have paper and he's putting it in and it's like, you're like, holy shit, is he gonna catch him? And he got that one paper. He goes, you're not putting this shit on me. He's like, I'm bringing you down. Remember that whole, because he had William Dafoe in the jungle and he has to go save them. I think that's
Claire and Present Danger.
Yeah, that one. That's what I mean. Like that 30 minutes of pure like, holy, is Jack Ryan really gonna get this guy? And he does, right? But that's what this movie was missing. I agree with Nate. This movie could have been good. It was just not. It was not thrilling at all. It was just like, I'm like, oh my God. It was just them eating sandwiches, reading through this, and I'm just like, oh,
eating at the end sandwiches.
Of the day, remember when she came in with the sandwiches? Right. She was like, I got bologna and cheese sandwich. Yeah. If anyone want it. But I get it. I mean, I can see it from both sides. It just did not work for me.
I know, give it some time, but I would strongly encourage you to, if you haven't watched All the President's Men,
I never even heard of it.
Oh, heard it. It's a movie. Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman. It's part of an Unspoken Alan, whatever his name, trilogy. So it's very good. Cute, parallax view, and like it's just government secrets and stuff like that. All the President's Men was made literally like the security guard that finds Watergate at the beginning plays himself in the movie. That's how soon that movie is made. They could get the real people to make it. And so
I really like the ending when they show the Watergate and the guys like walking in and they're like stealing the papers or whatever. And I was like, this is what was this?
So if you like Spotlight, you would, I think All the President's Men does better. I do agree that this is a weakness. This is where I think Spielberg's style actually does him a disservice in the sense of helps him in that make. He made a great film. It looks great, but it's too perfect. If that makes sense.
I push it back. I think he did a great job. I just think the script was just bad. I think because if he had a good script that had like tension and thrilling parts,
but you're not. But I don't think because the script I think is fine because I think the script's fine.
Well, no, it's fine for you, but I'm just saying to get if you get to get moviegoers in the seat, and I'm talking about like to sit them down like as a movie and you want to thrill them.
I'll put it this way.
It's not a thriller. This movie is not a thriller.
So
that is incorrect, and we know oftentimes that they don't actually. The people who make the film don't get to decide that.
I'll look at it
so oftentimes,
like the description is political thriller, psychological drama. And then if you
that's not how I would ever describe this movie.
Exactly, but it's in the genre. It is in the genre because to your point, All the President's Men is a political thriller and they are linked, right? Like they're very similar, but that one has tension, suspense, the things that really move a story. This does not. It is pretty slow paced, pretty boring. Is the subject matter interesting? Yes. Is it presented in an exciting way? No, it is not. And so for me, I'm like, okay, I would rather read about this on online.
See, I loved what's her name, Meryl Streep, when she was disobeying, says, no, we're going to go. Like that whole scene of like, are you printing? Are you not printing? Having all the people saying, don't do it. Because we might lose the money, we might lose the backing, and if we're wrong and the court case goes against us, they're allowed to pull out, and then our paper is gone. Like all that's gone. Like to me, that whole her on the phone and everyone else with them, I find that.
Well, no, that
exciting.
was the only, to be honest with you, that was the only part in the movie that had tension because she had to make a decision that's going to change the entire world and the whole paper company. Yeah, within 2 hours, that 10-minute scene was the whole tension and thriller of the movie. I agree with you. That is the best part of the movie is when she had to make the decision. But then right after the decision, it just became weak because...
Let's give some scores. I love this debate. This has been a good. You know what? We were done reviewing at about 15 minutes, and now. So actually, I think this is one of our best. I love the debate. I love the conversation. Yep. It's great, and hopefully, if you've never watched this movie, you could kind of take all this and decide, oh, it's something I want to see, or I don't want. I think everyone should watch any movie you even think about watching. But come back and let us know in the comments if you agree with Evan, if you agree with me, if you agree with Alex, if you agree with none of us, and we're all crazy, and this is a masterpiece, or if you disagree with all of us, and it's the worst movie you ever saw, because none of us said that either. So I want to know. All right, let's give some scores. For me, this was the hardest part, Evan. Ranking it wasn't that hard, but scoring it was kind of hard. Like I said, when I saw this in 2017, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought this was really good. And now I'm like, with time passed, and I don't know if I was in that, like, oh, it's a new Spielberg movie. I have to love it because I love Spielberg. And now we're watching all of his films weekly. And I'm going to give it a soft 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 because I do think there's more good than bad. And I think it's of quality. But personally, it's not going to be high on my ranking. I will say that much. It's not going to be in the top 10 or anything like that. So a 6 out of 10 for me. Evan, what do you score this film?
Well, originally, the last score I had, because I looked it up, I was still on Letterboxd. It was a 5 out of 5. Ooh, but damn. So it was a perfect. But I did bring it down, which is funny. I brought it down to your original score, an 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay. 8
so
out of 10, so still good.
I still think yes, it's still good.
And your son liked it, which is cool. It's always good when you can watch
my son liked it. Yes,
like it,
Yes,
Alex. What low number
is it going to be?
The first movie?
Is it going to be a first 0
or a 1 or 2?
It's a 1 out of a 10. It's tied with Lincoln and BFG.
Bro, this block has been absolutely
dude. It's
brutal
been torture. Look at this. I'll just do it quick. Lincoln. Oh well, it's all started with Warhorse.
Yeah,
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Lincoln 1 out of 10. Bridge of Spies 3 out of a 10. BFG 1 out of a 10, and The Post 1 out of a 10.
Bridge of Spies is a masterpiece out of the 5.
So what was right? What was right before Warhorse? I can't remember.
Tintin.
What was it?
I gave that an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
like
Tintin.
So
yeah,
it was
that
good
was
up to Tintin, and then
it's been a while for you. I'm really hoping what's our next movie?
I
West Side
guarantee
Story?
he likes the next one. It's Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
Oh,
okay.
Ready Player One.
This is my jam. All right, so next up, thanks for the lead-in. Next up, we're going to be covering Ready Player One, 2018. I'm going to tell you guys right now. This was during my old podcast days. This was my number 1 favorite movie of 2018. So I have seen it multiple times. I haven't seen it in a little bit, but I've seen this a number of times, and I love the movie. We'll see how I feel. Again, sometimes, especially with AMG, me and Alex be like, we love this movie. And then we watch it. We do not love it anymore. So it's been years, but I'm very excited. And I know at minimum, Alex will not be bored during Ready Player One. So he'll be back on track, and then he'll be bored again right after that when we do the.
And you've never seen Ready Player One?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh
Alex.
no, I saw it. Oh hell yeah! I mean, I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I'm just not speaking for him. I just know he will not be bored. Compared to the Fablemans, which he'll be back to bored right after that.
Most likely.
Anyway,
this is gonna be. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think for a while, this next one might be the first one we've all seen before.
I think because I know Alex did not see the Fablemans, and I don't think he watched West Side Story.
No.
All right, then. And then we will have all seen Disclosure Day. So anyway, that is the show. Again, leave me a comment or leave us a comment. We want to know your thoughts. Is the post amazing? Is it okay? Is it bad? Let us know. Leave a comment, a thumbs up, share the video, hype the video, all that stuff. It helps us out. If you're not already, consider subscribing to the channels. If you love our Director Spotlight, or if you love Alex's 4K reviews, or if you just like my short little reviews, sub to the channel so you get all that stuff. We do, 4 or 5 videos a week, plus live streams. Yeah. It's a good time. We love when you guys are here and you let us know what you like. And to the guy who said go Spurs go on my other review, sorry about it, buddy. They lost. So let's go Knicks. Thank you very much. It's been a blast. Be awesome to each other and geek out.